thoughts towards Ruby and Jody and Kevin and connections is that it was all bullcrap. It was complete indoctrination of this thing that they created.
Sisters of Ruby Franke breaking their silence after the Mormon YouTuber and her business partner are charged with child abuse.
We all felt weird about this Jody lady. We weren't comfortable with it. We didn't like it. We didn't like the teachings Ruby was bringing to the family functions.
Ruby Franke is being held without bail on 6 counts of felony child abuse. Now 2 of her sisters are speaking about their suspicions.
We did not know what they were doing.
Franke's business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, is being held on the same charges after 2 of Franke's children were found at her home late last month. One child had escaped. Here's part of the 911 call.
911, the address of your emergency. Tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. We know there's been problems at this neighbor's house. He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty.
This story has captured the attention of people around the world. Franke had been known for her YouTube channel, 8 Passengers, where she and her husband, Kevin Franke, documented their lives. Uploads appeared to stop last year. That timing appears significant, according to videos posted on YouTube by 2 of her sisters.
3 years ago, Ruby, everything was great. It seemed to be fine anyway. We were a typical family. She was getting some therapy counseling because their family needed it, which I think is great. However, I think you need to get it from a great source. Read the reviews. Jody Hildebrandt and her website or therapy style, I don't know what you want to call it, connections, was not a great resource.
Hildebrandt's Connections Classroom claims to help people with a range of problems through counseling. Ruby Franke is listed as a counselor on the website. Another one of Franke's sisters claimed the family had been cut off from Franke's family.
We did not know what they were doing because, like we said, we were cut off. I knew they were weird. I knew that they were off. Those are the things that we kept quiet about because what was I going to say? What was I going to do? I was not going to come out and publicly say that I don't like my sister and I don't like what she's doing and I think she's weird.
Ruby Franke has been under fire for many years as viewers of her YouTube channel voiced concern about her strict and what appeared to be emotionally abusive parenting style.
I hesitate to say this because it's going to sound like I'm like a mean barbarian, but I told the kids, I said, I'm not even going to let you eat breakfast until you get your chores done.
The hashtag cancel YouTube vlogger became popular on social media.
I'm not going anywhere.
One of Franke's sisters said her behavior became more and more strange.
So 3 years ago, Ruby and I hung out bottling tomatoes, and then a few weeks later, crap hit the fan and she left the family. And she didn't even call me to say, hey, you know, Julie, you're doing this and this, and I don't like it. You're living your life in distortion, so I'm gonna have to take some time away from you. No, literally nothing. She did call my mom and yelled at my mom on the phone for 45 minutes and accused her of things that were not true.
Ruby Franke's siblings are also YouTubers. One sister lays part of the blame for this situation on Kevin Franke, Ruby Franke's husband.
So I still stand by what I said, is that I did everything that I could with the knowledge that I had and within the legal rights to Ruby and Kevin. The one person that could have done something within his legal right was Kevin. We had 0 contact with him. It was Kevin's job to check in on things, and he did not. So when I say that Ruby and Kevin and Jody and Connections have been destroying our lives offline for the last 3 years, that is exactly what they've been doing, causing turmoil within our family. We would talk in circles because nothing made sense.
But Kevin Franke's attorney has a different take.
Kevin never had any reason to believe that his children were being abused.
Robert Kester told Law&Crime's Sidebar podcast that Kevin and Ruby had been separated for 13 months, and he didn't know she had taken the children to Jody Hildebrandt's home.
emotionally, she was controlling him because she knew how much he valued their marriage and valued their family, and it was his desire to be able to get back with the family and preserve his marriage. So he was taking direction from her, and her direction was, it's so much better off, and I think we can salvage our marriage if you just, for now, don't have communication with the kids, and I will communicate with you. I'll reach out to you when we need to have communication.
One of the Franke's older children, Sherry, shared feelings of relief on Instagram following her mother's arrest. Ruby Franke's sisters said they were able to reconnect with Sherry.
It was almost as if Ruby had been making up memories from her childhood. She was trying to grab at anything she could, and she would exaggerate on everything. So she started all of her lies back then, lying to everyone in her life, getting rid of all of her friends and family, and I literally had no contact with her. She wouldn't respond to any texts or emails over the time that I tried reaching out to her. Never got a response from her. So I was very fortunate to have been able to reach out to her daughter Sherry once she was an adult, and we were able to form a really close, strong relationship, which I am grateful for. And it was then that I learned more about Ruby, and it was then that Sherry had learned about lies that had been told to her.
Despite Ruby Franke's siblings saying they were being shut out and didn't know the children were victims of alleged abuse, the sisters suspected something wasn't right.
I was not going to come out and publicly say that I don't like my sister and I don't like what she's doing and I think she's weird. That is what we kept quiet about. It wasn't until about a year ago when we were able to reconnect with Sherry again.
That was from a recent video from the sister named Bonnie. She had posted a video the evening of her sister's arrest, but later deleted it.
I don't think any of us could have ever seen this coming. We all did as much as we could legally, and you don't know what you don't know. The only thing that we ultimately care about is that our nieces and nephews are safe, and they are.
Ruby Franke will be back in court next week on her criminal case. A hearing will also be held about custody of her minor children. For Law and Crime, I'm Angenette Levy.